Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks again for tuning in. On this week's show, we'll talk Bulldog football, hockey, and volleyball, all with unbeaten weekends this past week in league action. We'll start first, though, with Bulldog football, and joined by assistant coach Sam Parker. And Sam, an alum of the TV program here. Nice to have you back on this side of the camera.
It's great to be back on this side of the camera. It's a lot of stress on the other side, so I'm happy to be in front of it for once. Obviously,
you have to be happy with the way the Bulldogs have played, off to a 6-0 start and unbeaten in the GLIAC here at 4-0 this season.
Yeah, a bunch of, our coaching staff was talking about the last time we were 6-0, and usually it goes back to Pee Wee football. So we're all really excited to have the start that we've had, and, we're really fortunate to have the players that we've had and the health that we've had. Last game I played 12 offensive linemen, so not too many schools in the country can say that.
This past week, had the battle at the ballpark, played at Fifth Third Ballpark, and first college game there since 2009, back when you were a player, and I know it's a lot better to come out with a victory.
Yeah, and a better outcome than the last time we were there, and it's a lot of fun playing on a different surface, like a baseball field. And warm-ups, our guys were taking batting practice with footballs and stuff, and there was a lot of energy about the game. We came out and we were, well prepped, and it didn't feel like the turf or anything like that really affected us. As you can see here, Dion Earls had one of his best games. It was a baseball standout, which is kind of ironic in high school.
Got up to a great start here offensively, and if you're one of the offensive linemen, you like to play in these types of weather conditions and this type of grass field.
Yeah, I told the guys beforehand, I go, look, it's going to be, you're going to have your pants dirty, your jerseys dirty because of all the rain and the dirt and the grass. And as you see Jake Allen there catch the football, he got his chest dirty, had his first career touchdown, and he's one of the best long snappers in the country.
Obviously, got that offensive score early on, and then the defense got the ball back, and a big throw here from J. Rue Campbell to Xavier Wade.
Yeah, J. Rue has probably thrown the prettiest balls we've ever seen at Ferris State, and he feels really comfortable in the pocket. Even when my guys aren't playing well, and still manages to make throws and reads like this.
Obviously, the offense was really clicking here, but the defensive performance in the first half, very good as well, a shutout in the first half.
Yeah, our defense this season has allowed 3.8 points a game in the first half. So, what really helps us is we don't have to worry about being in a dogfight in the first half with the way they're playing. Playing physical and playing relentless throughout, and really thanks to Coach Brady and Coach Hodges getting those guys ready, and Tesfa Smith getting his defensive line guys ready. It seems like year in, year out, there's an NFL guy on there. This year we've got Austin Edwards, and he's killing it.
Right here at the end of the first half, J. Rue Campbell with the touchdown run to make it 28-0 at halftime. Had to feel pretty confident going into the half with a 28-0 lead.
Yeah, we came out of the half and it felt like, okay, 0-0, let's go do it again. Except this time we're using a lot of different personnel and substitutions and stuff. So, the score might not be as reflective of how hard the guys played, but you gotta understand we're rolling in 60-plus bodies throughout that game, which very few schools can, say. And then this guy doing his thing.
Obviously, after that Michigan Tech score early in the half, the offense came right back, and you're able to get another score here to increase the lead again.
Yeah, and it's really a credit to the guys up front. They come out every series ready to, maybe it's not always a touchdown, but it's always better than what you did before. And they do a great job.
How important was it for you, coaching the offensive line, to have so many guys coming back that had gained so much experience?
Well, it makes my job pretty easy. We started 3 seniors, Nick Sawyer, Jake Rumler, and Devon Johnson, and all 3 of those guys, you don't have to worry about chasing them to class, into workouts, or anything like that. And then, the other younger guys, Tyler Allison and Jake Boonstra and Dylan Pasquale, are all very professional and easy to deal with guys. It makes coaching them, pretty simple.
42-7 lead at the end of 3, and then final score 42-24. But as you mentioned, an opportunity here in the fourth quarter to get a lot of guys, a lot of repetition.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something you don't see or even think about, but, as the season wears on, injuries progress and everything like that. And, for us to go out there and play as many guys as we did and get those guys reps and develop them and, have them, feel good that they get to play in a game at that venue and everything like that. It was just really exciting. That was probably the first thing I talked about with my guys is everybody in here played and played pretty well.
I know for you as an alum, nice to see a lot of former players back, Football Alumni Day, and always great to have those guys on hand.
Yeah, it's fun unless you're working. So I'm one of the guys that's working, and I run into all my old teammates and friends and everything like that. And it makes me laugh because I'll be out in the parking lot talking with them and then realize like, oh, sorry guys, I'm on the clock. I got to go back in and get these guys ready for the game. But it's always nice to see, guys that I played with from years ago, 10 years ago, and to see them, come and support us it really means a lot.
Obviously this week a big game, the Anchorbone Classic, number 2 versus number 3, and certainly a big challenge ahead of you with Grand Valley State off to an unbeaten start as well.
Yeah, I think, the first thing I want to say that nobody's really talking about is all the GLIAC teams in West Michigan are undefeated. Davenport, with Coach McEwen there, who was formerly on our staff and took what we've done here and that culture and has developed it in Caledonia. And, Grand Valley is undefeated, and so are we. And so it's just really cool for West Michigan being like the mecca of D2 football and really, a lot of football. So we're really excited that, we can showcase that on, pretty big scale this weekend between these two schools. And it's just really exciting. I don't think it's as much of a rivalry as others want to make it out to be. Because we take it as this is number 2 team in the country. Doesn't matter what colors they're wearing. Coach Mitchell's got a really class act organization. And those guys, every time I go there and I wear Ferris gear, they treat me well. They talk about how great our offensive line is and, show a lot of love and support, just like we do back to them.
Obviously a big game for both teams here at the middle part of the season, and a game that certainly has a lot of implications riding on the line.
Yeah, you look at it, we'll be playing these guys, and, win, lose, or draw, it's something that's being added to your playoff picture. So, we're hoping we get a good win and, that we are able to play as many weeks as possible on a football schedule. It's not always the case, but, I'm just really excited for the challenge of they're a pretty good ball club, and so are we, and it's just anytime that you get 2 outstanding programs, it's just a great game.
Obviously, as a guy that's coached and played in a game like this, just talk about the experience and what it's like on Saturday night for the guys that are going to be suiting up for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and it's, being down there at their place is a lot of fun because they've got a great atmosphere. They've got a lot of fans and, they're razzing you on the sidelines, and it's a lot of fun. And they've got great facilities, and they do a great job of taking care of you. And it's a feeling that you don't get at too many places in the GLIAC. So we're really excited to go down there. We usually do pretty well down there. Guys like traveling down there, and it's just a lot of fun to play in a game, especially with the history that the 2 teams have, and for me at least, selfishly, because of how talented they are as well as how talented we are.
Well, congratulations again on the unbeaten start for the Bulldogs. Best of luck on Saturday, and great to have you back here on the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.
Want to be a storyteller? The Television and Digital Media Production program at Ferris State University is the Create space for you. At Ferris, you will apply creative and technical skills to create stories worth telling. You will be immersed in your learning. You will practice every part of the production process. You will create in state-of-the-art facilities with the latest equipment and software. The TDMP program at Ferris State. Learn to make storytelling your career. Find out more at ferris.edu/TDMP.
That's it. I'm hangry. What is it going to take? A pizza for $5.99? Weekly specials? Online ordering? Actually, that sounds pretty good. I think I know just the place.
Banish your hangry self with Mancino's convenient online ordering. A 14-inch, one-topping pizza for only $5.99. Or try one of our unique weekly specials. And don't forget, Ferris students, you get 10% off. Call, go online, or stop in today.
What does it mean to be a bulldog? It means you will be focused. You will be inspired. be ready. You will be yourself. Ferris State University. Be a Bulldog. Apply today at ferris.edu.
Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk Bulldog hockey with this head coach Bob Daniels. And Coach, first of all, welcome to the show for the first time this year.
Good to be here, Rob. Thank you.
Obviously, your team back on the ice this past weekend with a couple exhibition games and a couple nice victories for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, boy, it was good to be back on the ice, Rob. It really was. And, it's funny, as the summer's going on and you keep thinking the games are so far away. And, the guys have been here since August working out with Coach Sensor, our strength coach, and it just seems like the games are so far away that all of a sudden, boom, they're here. And I was really interested, and I still don't know that I have a great feel for what we have, but I was really interested in watching us play the two games this weekend. We've got a lot of new faces we're incorporating into the team. I felt pretty good coming in. Wasn't 100% sure what we had, but coming out of the weekend, I feel more comfortable than I did going into the weekend, and I thought the guys played pretty well. Really a case this past weekend of playing two totally different style teams, and one was the United States development team, which is all 18-year-olds and younger. The other one was the University of Lethbridge, which is probably all 24-year-olds and older. So it was just two really different type of hockey games.
We go to the Saturday game. You played the U.S. under-18 team, second year in a row. You've been able to play them, and a great experience for both sides.
Well, I'd like to thank Seth Appert for. He's now coaching with the development team. He used to play goal for us. He used to coach with us. And he's allowed us to schedule them early in the year when an exhibition game like this is much needed. And wow, what a talented team this group was. The projected possibility of 9 first-round NHL draft choices coming this June, with the overall #1 draft choice in Jack Hughes. And just while they're young, it's like the McDonald's All-American team of staying together for the entire year for high school basketball. I thought they jumped us early in the game. They had probably played 7-8 games so far this year. This is our first. And it took us a little while to get up to game speed, but I thought as the game progressed, after about the first 10 minutes, it was pretty even. And by the end of the game, I thought we had the upper hand. And it was fun to watch us pick up our game pace and our tempo. We had a lot of goals on the weekend from freshmen and sophomores, which is a good sign of things to come.
Here in this game, Justin Kappelmaster had a strong performance for you as well, in net with 44 saves.
He did. Justin played extremely well. Here's a goal that Lucas Finner gets shorthanded to put us up 2 goals in the third period. Salted away for us. He's going to get a goal like this the next night. We'll have it on the highlights as well, where he goes to his backhand and puts it upstairs in the net. But it was a great game. I really liked playing the development team just because of the speed and skill. While it wasn't an overly physical game, it was hotly contested and very competitive when you come down to stick strength.
Came back on Sunday afternoon. A quick turnaround time for two teams that had both played the night before in Lethbridge and Ferris State.
Yeah, it's a 3 o'clock game, and it was a quick turnaround for us, and it was a very quick turnaround for them. We had played 5 o'clock the day before. They had played at 7 at Western Michigan, and so it was, this game just did not have the pace that the game the night before had. I thought we got off to a bit of a sluggish start. You can see Lucas Finner here getting a good chance. We had some looks in the first period, but overall we didn't play well. Here, freshman mistake by Jake Transit, where he turns the puck over along the blue and kind of skates past it, allowing their player to come in and get a good opportunity. He played well on the weekend, but that's a mistake that down the road we're going to want to correct.
Obviously, they jumped in front early in that opening period, and we'll take a 2-0 lead before your team really found some offense here in the second period.
Yeah, like I said, we just started off slow and sluggish, and their team was more of a passive team than what we had seen the night before, more structurally, defensively sound. They didn't pursue the puck much, so when we had it and breaking out, they didn't come pressure us a lot. And one of the things we needed to do was move our feet in the offensive zone, and we needed to bring the pace of the game up. And I thought after the first, the message was delivered, and the guys responded very well.
Really a flurry of goals here in the second period, and on the night you had 5 goals from 5 different scorers.
Yeah, I think the depth of our scoring is going to be really good this year. I really do. You can see Frankie Melton scoring for his 2nd goal on the weekend. He's going to be a great addition to the team. Here's a goal 8 seconds later to give us the lead 3-2. We never looked back from there. I think we outshot the opposition by about 35-12 in the last 2 periods. So we really took this game over once we picked up the pace of our play. Jake Transit just scored there, so he evened up the mistake he made in the 1st period.
Obviously, here against Lethbridge, both nights really got great production from your penalty kill. Talk about the special teams.
Well, correct, and Lucas Finner, there's a goal I was talking about earlier, but yes, we ended up, in regards to our penalty kill, even on the weekend, we gave up 1 and we scored a shorthanded goal. That's always a really good sign. Our power play had 1 goal on the weekend. We'd like to see that improve. In net, you can see Roni Selman Kangas in net. He's our Finnish goaltender, freshman, so he got his first action, and he didn't see a lot of shots. Nothing he can do about that. You see, you can only make the saves that are presented, but nevertheless, I thought he had a solid game in net, and it was good seeing Justin Capmaster and Roni come up big on the weekend and come out with wins, and now they both have a little taste of action.
Obviously, this week, the regular season starts for real in a rivalry matchup against Western Michigan, a team that you certainly have a great tradition against.
We do. We split with them last year, and every year we pretty much open the season with them. Great rivalry. This is going to be, they're a good team this year. They've got some outstanding players. They were a good team last year, returned really the lion's share of those players for this season. Going to be a tremendous test for us right out of the gate. As we start eventually moving into conference play, but this is a type of non-conference games we like playing. We like to be in ones that we're really tested, and they're going to do that. Some other games we played non-conference this year, we played 2 at Michigan State and then 2 at the University of Minnesota. So we look to build a really difficult non-conference schedule, gives us an opportunity to hopefully increase our RPI by playing good, strong teams and make us better as well.
Obviously, Friday night at home at the Everglades Ice Arena, then Saturday night back in Kalamazoo. What does it take to pick up some big wins here this weekend?
Well, traditionally, both arenas are sold out. They bring a good contingent of fans with them. We take a good contingent there. For us, again, we're a bit of an unknown because we're mixing in so many new players, but I think we're better off, a much better team than what people had predicted when the season started. But I would anticipate 2 pretty hard-fought, closely contested games. Probably a little sloppy because it's early in the year, but it won't dampen the enthusiasm at all.
Well, Coach, best of luck to the Bulldogs Friday night against Western Michigan at the Everglades Ice Arena, 7:07 p.m., and hopefully you have a great weekend.
Thank you, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.
Want to be a storyteller? The television and digital media production program at Ferris State University is the create space for you. At Ferris, you will apply creative and technical skills to create stories worth telling. You will be immersed in your learning. You will practice every part of the production process. You will create in state-of-the-art facilities with the latest equipment and software. The TDMP program at Ferris State. Learn to make storytelling your career. Find out more at ferris.edu/TDMP.
Cuts back to the right side, breaks a tackle, touchdown!
Mack and shoots and scores! Corey Mackin off the rebound!
Run to Williams, back to Cusingberry, three-pointer up and good!
The tournament champion.
Ferris State with a huge win!
Come rise with us. For more information, visit ferrisstatebulldogs.com.
At Ferris State University, we're more than our student to faculty ratio.
More than our variety of programs, our internship rate,
or our number of student organizations.
Here, you're never just a number.
You can be yourself and be focused on your goals.
Be inspired every day and be ready for tomorrow.
Be a bulldog. Go to ferris.edu.
Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Bulldog Volleyball, joined by head coach Tia Brandel-Wilhelm. Coach, welcome back to the show.
thank you. Thanks for having us here.
Obviously, going into this past weekend, you had talked about playing the top 2 teams in the GLIAC South, and 2 competitive matches, but nice to come away with 2 wins this past week.
Oh, both teams are just such strong teams. We just definitely feel really grateful to have the wins, for sure.
Obviously, 2 opponents in Wayne State and Ashland. Just talk maybe about some of the differences between those 2 teams and the style that they played.
You know, there's a little bit of similarity. They're both pretty aggressive offensively. They take a lot of big swings and just about, any kind of pass situation. So that's pretty similar. Ashland is a little more persistent maybe. They're pretty tough at the net with their blocking. So, that definitely makes us change a little bit about what we're doing offensively.
As we go to some of the highlights, we'll start on Friday night. Great environment. You had the band on hand and certainly a loud atmosphere.
Yeah, a lot of student athletes were there, and it's nice because the student athletes just, they understand the flow of the game, and so they're pretty excited about, not just exciting when we win a point, but when we're doing good things out there. So there's great energy for sure.
Got off to a great start, 25-19 here in the first set, and we'll see you come back in the second set, and really a similar type of set in terms of the final score. It was 25-19 again.
Yeah, and it didn't, I think it was a little closer than it even, than that. It just felt like a closer match than, a 6-point set for sure.
You get a team down 2-0. How important is it for you to get that third one to not force a 4th or 5th set?
Yeah, if the momentum shifts, and I thought at the end of the second set that Wayne State kind of shifted their momentum a little bit. They started making some pretty big plays, and I'm not sure we were playing quite as hard as we wanted to, and that came out in the third set because that set was, back and forth and very close, and we had to come back in that set a little bit.
Certainly playing back-to-back days, Friday to Saturday, getting that win in 3 sets certainly helps give you a little more time maybe to prepare for the following day.
Yeah, we definitely like to have that and anytime you can win in 3 is definitely better for sure.
As we go to Saturday's match against Ashland, the GLIAC South Division leader, and very competitive match that'll end up going 5 sets, and it seemed like both teams really battled hard the whole day.
Yeah, it was definitely a battle, and it was just back and forth all day, through the, every set. You'd get a little lead and you think, okay, that was a little run that we needed, but then they would get a little run, and it just kind of went back and forth like that.
We'll take the opening set here, but 3 or 4 of these sets went to extra points.
Yeah, this first one goes, 28-26. I think that was the final score of it, and it was really battling back and forth. We definitely had opportunities to win the set, didn't come through with that. So definitely came back in the second set a little more focused, and we were able to really execute our game plan. And I thought we got into the rhythm and were really doing the things that we wanted to do in the second set.
Obviously, you got great production from a number of players, but Katie O'Connell leading the way with 18 kills. Courtney Brewer had 17 kills for you.
Yeah, Courtney's just that kid. She's been playing a little bit injured most of the season and hasn't been able to play back row, but she's just made herself into this player that can come off the bench and be very focused right from the start. She's paying attention all the time. She knows exactly what she needs to do when she gets out there, both defensively and offensively. And then you see Katie O'Connell. I mean, she's playing defense, she's blocking, she's hitting, she works hard every single day of every practice to get just that little bit better, and you're really starting to see that in her play now.
Obviously, here in the second set, your team going to come back and win this set. A big one here as you get ready to head to the third set.
Yeah, and I think the third set, we would have liked to carry that momentum and that focus that we had in the second set into the third set, and I thought it was just a little bit hit or miss in that. And you see it gets to be a little bit of a scrappy match at times. Both teams are pretty aggressive offensively, and really both teams like to get up and try to hit the ball, and from both sides of the net. So you have outsides and right sides that are hitting. So when that happens, sometimes the defense gets a little scrappy. And that fourth set was probably the exciting one for the fans because we were up and then we lost a run, I think 7 or 8 points, and then had to come back to win that at 24-21. Had to come back quite a bit, so that was pretty exciting, I think, for the fans.
Obviously, your kids come back, win it 3-2. Just talk about the resiliency maybe of them coming back a couple different times in that match.
We do that every day in practice, so it's not anything special for us. We're always, having to fight from different situations in practice. And I think with this team, they're not really thinking about the outcome. That's what we hope anyways. We're not thinking about the outcome. We're really just trying to do the best we can in this moment. And then whatever happens, we just move on to the next moment.
Obviously, this week, a big week ahead, not in terms of conference play, but in terms of regional play, the largest college volleyball tournament in the country, the Midwest Regional Crossover. Just talk about what this event's going to be like.
It's such an exciting event. There's, I think, 38 teams there, and it is the 3 different conferences. Everybody's there. It's a seeded event, so the top teams play the top teams from the other conferences. It's very competitive. Our region is pretty strong. We have, you know, in the national rankings and those few teams getting votes, I think we have 9 or 10 teams in our region, and we'll get to play a couple of them, so that'll be very exciting. It's a great environment. It's a week where we cheer for everyone else in the GLIAC, which is just such a neat opportunity and just a great experience.
Obviously, 3 tough opponents in Findlay, Indianapolis, and Drury. Just talk about what these matches mean, maybe in terms of some of the regional implications coming up here at the end of the year.
I think you find that the results from the crossover, this tournament, play in very strongly in the committee's decision as to who goes to regional competition for the NCAAs. And I think a big part of it is not just the wins that you can get over other teams so that you can, you know, put yourself higher in the rankings, but also it kind of helps you if you get a win over a team from a conference. It helps with the common opponents, so anybody that they beat in that conference, it kind of helps you stay ahead of them a little bit too. So we're fortunate because we're playing 3 really strong teams, and so it will really help our strength of schedule rankings within the region.
Obviously, 3 teams that will help prepare you for the rest of the conference race as well. Just a few weeks left here in the conference regular season.
It's amazing to think that, but yeah, just a few weeks left. We've played the whole North Division, the South Division, and then after the crossover next week, we just play the North Division again, and then it's postseason time.
Obviously, for your team going in to play these 3 matches, what does it take to go into a neutral side big tournament like this and come away with some wins?
I wish I knew. You know, sometimes we're up and down in this tournament, so I think it's really just a matter of us just preparing like we normally prepare, and just like in any moment, you just go out there and we'll just do the best we can, and we'll see what opportunities present themselves, and we'll just try to take advantage of those, and whatever happens, just walk away and trust that it's for the good and that we can make it work.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on the great start, unbeaten in the GLIAC, and best of luck at the regional crossover this weekend.
A lot.
That's going to do it for Ferris Sports Update. A reminder, you can follow all the action, get all the results online, ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Have a great week.